Well, let's mention some products that can undergo into the drying process. Fruits is the first one that we can mention because the fruits for a long time have been dried in the sun. Some of the fruits that we can mention are grapes, figs, dates, pears, apricot, etc. The methods used for drying process are different, like using hot air, vacuum drying, or combined methods. These methods, especially vacuum drying and combined methods, are used for products that are a little bit delicate, like kiwi, mango, and banana. Before starting the drying process, in general, fruits are treated with sulfuric anhydride. During the process of drying, because they have to control the minimization of browning reaction. This treatment is obligative especially into sliced fruits or product, because the oxidation reaction might happen, and these oxidation may affect into the quality of the product, but even the appearance. These products may not be attractive for the consumers. Even fruit puree can also be dried, as in the case of bananas, apricot, mangoes, and peaches, but these products are hygroscopic and sticky, so it is imperative to use glucose syrup to facilitate its subsequent treatment. Even fruit juices can be also dried. The methods used in this case are mostly spray drying or atomizing. Vegetables. Well, in addition to fruits, many vegetables can also go through the drying process, such as tomatoes, carrot, peppers, celery, spinach, and broccoli. Most vegetables, like fruits, need to be blanched or sulfated before starting the drying process. The methods of drying vegetables are different, such as trays, tunnels, which use hot air at temperature normally that range between 50 to 110 degrees. Some vegetables, such as garlic, mushroom, peas, onions, are not sulfated because if they are sulfated, they may lose the delicate taste and aroma. Herbs and spices. Well, regards herbs and spices, the most efficient way to dry them is by vacuum drying, which enables the production of products with better organoleptic quality than those that use hot air drying. This is why most aromatic plants for culinary uses are dried in vacuums in order to preserve their volatile components or compounds that are responsible for the aroma and for a better organoleptic quality of the product. In general, spices can be dried without blanching or sulfating, just to preserve much better their fragrances, and especially to preserve the bioactive compounds that are responsible for their positive effect on human health. Dairy products. Well, dairy products has begun early the process of drying with the objective to obtain powder milk. For the preparation of this product of milk powder, we have to pass into some phases. Firstly, we have to centrifugate the milk to obtain mass with 0.05% of fat milk. Then this mass passed through a heat treatment with an intensity that determines whether the powder produced is classified in three types: low heat treatment, medium heat treatment, or high heat treatment. The more intense the thermal treatment, much lower is the amount of soluble proteins, such as albumin and globulin, because the temperature, as we know, might destroy these proteins. Low heat powder is used in products such as cheese or in baby food. Medium heat powder is used for the production of concentrated dairy products, and high heat powder is mainly used in bakery or in chocolate industries. After the heat treatment, the milk goes through the process of drying, and in this case the methods that is more used in this case is spray drying. Fish product. Well, there are two traditional methods for fish preservation: salting and smoking. Salting involves osmotic dehydration, which affects the reduction of water activity. Smoking involves exposure of fish to wood smoke at temperature 30 degrees. In this case, this method is known as cold smoking. During this process, we have loss of moisture in about 10 to 11%, and cold smoked fish product can be stored for no more than 7 days in refrigerator. Smoking can also be carried out at temperature up to 120 degrees, temperature that promote lowering the water activity and provide sustainable products even without refrigeration. So we have two types of product. If the treatment is in low temperature, the product might be preserved just for 7 days and no more in refrigeration. But if we have a severe treatment with the temperature, the product may be preserved for a long time and without refrigeration. Another method that is used for drying process is lyophilization. This is a method that it has high costs. This is the reason that is not usually used, but just for some products that are specific products that are important, might be used the lyophilization process. And the last one are meat products. For drying of chicken, beef, lamb and pork, it is necessary firstly to green these products and then to go through the drying process. The methods used for drying are hot air in trays, conveyor and rotary dryers, up to 4 to 6% of moisture content. Among different meats, pork is less stable due to oxidation of fat, because we know that pork is known for its high content of fats, and poultry is the meat product, more stable. Even here, another method that can be used for raw and cooked meat product is again lyophilization, but here in this case it is used as a process, even it has a high cost. We mentioned some products that goes through the drying process, but now let's see the steps that these products have to pass for their drying. In this case, we start with fruits, and the first step is selection and cleaning. Well, firstly we have to be sure to start with a good quality of the fruit. We have to select the right fresh and fully ripe and sounds that the same quality that we would choose for table use. This product we have to sort and wash very well and discard any bruised or overripe pieces. Something that I want to mention is that the sanitation during the handling and drying process is very important. Pre-treatment is the second step. Almost all types of fruit need to be treated before drying, such as peeling, slicing, etc. But there are some fruits whose skins are tough and waxy, so these types of fruit need to peel or crack their skins before starting the drying process. These cracks have the purpose of letting the internal moisture to come out to the surface and to evaporate. For cracking the skins, the fruits are placed in boiling water for 30 till 60 seconds, and then immediately they will be immersed into a very cold water. After this, they will be drained completely and pass through the drying process. In general, fruits should be sliced or cut it in the same shape and thickness, because if there is no this uniformity, the drying process might not go so well. So even the quality of the product might not be so good. So this uniformity is obligatory. A good part of the fruit has problems with oxidation or browning, and if it's not controlled, can affect negatively in fruit structure, in fruit flavor, aroma, and appearance. Therefore, to avoid the oxidation process, the fruits are treated with antioxidants, such as ascorbic acid. Commercial antioxidants contain ascorbic acid plus other ingredients, but they are more expensive than pure ascorbic acid. It is often been heard by family processors that fruits should be soaked in salt or in vinegar water, but these just prolong the drying time, because in this case we add the content of moisture into the product, and this moisture needs time to be dried. Although it should be noted that the use of ascorbic acid is only a temporary treatment. Sulfuring is one of the best antioxidant treatment for color preservation. If we are not going to do a permanent antioxidant treatment, all fruits would be darkened due to the oxidation. And in general, the use of sulfuric anhydrides help not only to prevent the oxidation, but also to prevent the loss of some vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin C, etc. For those who are afraid of using sulfur, well, we can tell you that you don't have to be worried about sulfur, because it's not harmful in the amount used to treat the fruits. It's a naturally occurring mineral in foods, which when combined with water in the fruits forms sulfuric acids, which evaporate during the drying process. Sulfite is used to avoid the process of blanching the fruit before drying. Well, there are two methods of sulfiting, each with its own advantages and disadvantages. The first one is sulfur fumes, and the second is sulfite solution. Well, sulfur fumes are more effective than sulfite solution, but this method requires more time and equipment. Soaking the fruit in a sulfite solution is another method that is used due to moistening. The fruits absorb some water, so the drying time is prolonged. Fruits dried with this method can be dried indoor or outdoor. To make a sulfur solution, sodium bisulfite is added to the water and mixed well. Then fruits we have prepared, we have to leave in this solution for 5 to 10 minutes. Then fruits are drained without being rinsed, and then they pass through the drying process. It is advisable to use only pure reagent or food grade bisulfite, Practical grade bisulfite is not recommended because it is not pure enough for sulfuring fruits. Steam blanching. Well, steam blanching fruits is an alternative of sulfuring, but it is not as effective. More vitamins are lost during the steam blanching, and the drying process takes longer. For these reasons, steam blanching is not recommended. And the final step is drying process. After these treatments, we are now ready to begin the drying process. We have to place the fruit in a single layer or in drying trays, then we have to put them in the oven or in dryer. We have to be sure to stock the trays at least 4 centimeters apart. The length of time needed for drying will depend on the size and the number of pieces dried at one time. Drying fruits can take anywhere from 6 hours for very thin and small pieces such as apple slices or grapes to 10 hours for larger juicy fruits such as peach or apricot. These drying fruits can be eaten as they are, or they can be used in cookies or granola recipes or with breakfast cereals. These dried fruits can reconstitute its first size by soaking in cool water for 2 hours or just pure boiling water over the fruits, just enough to cover them and simmer about 15 minutes. Drying vegetables. Well, like fruits, even vegetables have to pass through different steps before starting the drying process. The first step is about selection, cleaning and cutting. When we talk about selection, it means that we have to be sure to start with fresh and mature product. When we talk about cleaning, all the vegetables that have to pass through the drying process need to be washed firstly and cut out any bad spots. Also, all the vegetables need to be cut into pieces of a suitable size, because we have to keep in mind that thin pieces will dry more faster compared to thick ones. This is the reason that we can say that uniformity of the sizes is important into the drying process. Blanching process. Well, almost all vegetables need to be blanched before starting the drying process. These because blanching helps to stop the activity of the enzymes, which cannot stop during the drying or the storage of the vegetables. In general, enzymatic activity affect into the quality parameters of the vegetables during the storage. They can affect negatively general into the aroma, into the color of the vegetables, etc. There are some vegetables like mushroom and onion that do not need to be blanched before starting the drying process. The reason that it is not used because in general blanching process may affect into the quality parameter of this product, especially into their aroma. This is the reason that blanching for this product is not allowed. Blanching is in two types. Blanching is with boiling water and steam blanching. Well, in general, in food industry, steam blanching is more useful because it takes too long time, but it helps to save more water soluble nutrients compared to boiling water, that a large quantity of water soluble nutrients are lost. After blanching time, we have to pass through the freezing uh, process. This process is done by using ice water or cold water. Well, something interesting is that the water used for blanching may be used for culinary aspects because it is full of valuable nutrients. Drying process. After the preparation of the vegetables, they have to put into thin layers or drying trays, and then they have to be passed into the oven or dryer. We have to keep in mind that we have when we put these trays in the oven, we have to create a space between between the trays, for at least 4 centimeters, because this helps the air to circulate. And in this case, the drying process will take no longer. If we dry in oven, we have to keep in mind that in general the temperature of the oven is at 16 degrees. In general, vegetables for drying process takes 4 to 12 hours. The length time depends on some parameters, for example the kind and the amount of food that are going to be dried, the method that it is using, oven or food dryers, and even the temperature has an important role into the drying process. Well, in general, all the dried vegetables do not need to soak them before cooking them, but soaking will shorten the cooking time. Reconstitute by soaking these drying vegetables. We have to put them into the water for a couple hours. Vegetables will return to almost their original size and shape, but there are some vegetables, dried vegetables, that we can let them in their form because they are used for seasoning salads and etc.